All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we actually have a Los Angeles Lakers video for you guys. Now, I want to talk about this. I like talking about the Lakers. I like talking about the Nets. I like talking about my opinions just in general in basketball because I like being wrong and I like being right and I like hearing your guys' takes. I just love it all. So before I get into this video, especially to my Lakers fans, I want everyone to know I am not a Lakers fan, right? I live in Chicago. I do not want LeBron James to pass Michael Jordan for best basketball player of all time. Personally, I think he might be creeping close because he's got a ton of gas left in the tank. I want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers today and why I just genuinely think that they are going to win the NBA Finals. When healthy, I think they are the scariest team in the NBA. Now, obviously, I'm fully aware of the Brooklyn Nets. I'm fully aware of the talent the Brooklyn Nets have. And I'm fully aware that the Brooklyn Nets also have injury issues. The thing about the Lakers, they're getting on the right track, right? Anthony Davis just came back last night. LeBron James, he's rumored to be coming back soon. On the Nets side, you have KD. I mean, KD's a whole headache right now. KD's been a whole headache all season. I feel so bad for Nets fans and KD. I feel bad for players who drafted Kevin Durant in fantasy basketball, especially if it was in the first round, because I don't even think it needs an explanation. But with James Harden, you have James Harden. He just got injured. He faced a setback. Now, you don't really know what's going on with that setback. You don't know if it's, all right, let's give James some rest, or if he actually had a setback, or it could have been literally the most minor setback you could imagine, like just some tightness or some cramping, some soreness, just anything. It could be something so minor that the Nets just want to rest him, and this is the injury that they are going to go with. I don't even care about the Brooklyn Nets because, to me, I'm not a LeBron James hater by any means. I'm not a Laker hater by any means at all. But I've never really rooted for LeBron James in an NBA Finals. I will not be rooting for LeBron James this year in NBA Finals. And it's not like I'm actively rooting against him. It's just I really wanted Jimmy Butler to get a ring last year. This year I really want James Harden. You guys know I cover the Rockets. I really want James Harden to win a ring. I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm not out here rooting against LeBron. But I've watched a lot of LeBron play in his career. And this team, as crazy as it may sound to some of you guys, this is the best team I think that LeBron James has ever been a part of. Ever. From top to bottom, especially the starting five, I think you could argue this is the best starting five LeBron James has ever had. Maybe not the whole roster, but starting five, it's almost insane. When these guys, and you could say the same thing with any team, when all their starters are on, watch out. But with this Lakers team, it's even more. And we got a great glimpse of this last night from three specific players who will be starting for the Lakers. And this is why I have so much trust that the Lakers, if you're a Laker fan, if you got money on the Lakers, there's no reason to panic because of this. Dennis Schroeder last night. First off, we all know Dennis Schroeder. He's having an incredible season, averaging about 16 points per game, almost 6 assists, 3.5 rebounds. I mean, Dennis Schroeder, especially last night, 25 points, 13 assists on 9 of 13 shooting, 2 of 3 from deep. He even fouled out. So Dennis Schroeder is that piece that the Lakers were missing last year all season. But Rondo really came through for him, especially in the playoffs. I mean, playoff Rondo he's almost incomparable. I'm very curious to see how Schroeder does for us in the playoffs. But if he plays anything like he played last night against a great Dallas Mavericks team, a hot Dallas Mavericks team, 25 points, 13 assists, that will get the job done. Especially for Dennis Schroeder, that is going to get the job done. Now, KCP. I've done a couple of Laker videos all season, and I talked about KCP a lot, especially towards the trade deadline, not because I wanted him to get traded or anything like that, but I realized the Lakers sitting at, 21 or 22nd in the NBA in three-point shooting right around the trade deadline. It was like, all right, they need a three-point shooter desperately, because around the trade deadline, KCP was shooting bricks. He was literally putting up brick after brick after brick. He would not have his occasional, go off night. It was just brick, 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 brick. Well, recently he has really, really turned the corner, specifically last night, 29 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists. All they need KCP to do is hit 3-point shots and play defense. So 29 points, he shot 9 of 17 from the field, 6 of 12 from deep. I mean, KCP last night was on fire. And this is exactly what you could use. Imagine you're in the playoffs and you have Dennis Schroeder and KCP putting up 50 points a night combined. That is scary. The last guy I want to talk about is the newly acquired 2-time All-Star in his prime at 27 years old, the best rebounder in the NBA, Andre Drummond. Last night, Andre Drummond was an absolute force offensively and defensively. He threw in a steal. He threw in 3 blocks, 14 points, and 19 rebounds. I mean, this dude has never been coached in his life. He has never played with stars in his life. We haven't even seen LeBron James play with Andre Drummond yet. We hadn't even seen Anthony Davis play with Andre Drummond yet until last night. Anthony Davis, 2 of 10, 4 points in just 16 minutes. Obviously, he was working a lot of rust off. We're about to see in the next couple of weeks this duo of Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond, and I guarantee you that paint is going to be locked up because you have 2 great players, specifically defensively. Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond defensively are maybe one of the best big men duos in the NBA. Throw in offense. You have Andre Drummond, who's averaging 17 points per game this season, about 15 points per game in his career. And then you have Anthony Davis, who I don't even need to make comments about on the season, averaging 22 and 8. I mean, my Chicago boy, I love AD so much. I do believe he's a top 5 player when healthy. I will not give him disrespect. But those big 3 players, Andre Drummond, who they just got, a 2-time All-Star. Man, imagine giving up 0 players, 0 picks, 0 anything except a little bit of money to get a 2-time All-Star around the trade deadline. That is the biggest W I have ever heard. And then you look at the rest of the lineup. You've got Kyle Kuzma, Morris, Harrell, Caruso, THT, Ben McLemore. LeBron James hasn't even played, man. And then you got Marc Gasol and Wesley Matthews sitting there on the bench. This team is so unbelievably deep. That's why I think the NBA should be afraid. I understand the Nets are just as deep, but that health, it's worrying me as the Lakers are getting healthier and healthier. So also something I do want to point out is the Lakers might have another easy road to the finals. The way it's slated right now is they will be playing the Denver Nuggets in the first round. They do not have Jamal Murray. They will probably beat the Denver Nuggets in the first round. Second round, you play the 1 seed Utah Jazz most likely. Unfortunately, and I love the Utah Jazz, and I want them. I hope this year is the year they prove me wrong. But, it's the Utah Jazz, man. Come on. All they have is Donovan Mitchell for scoring. The Lakers can shut that down easily. Just double-team Donovan Mitchell, and who else is going to score? Mike Conley can't put up 30 points a night for 7 games. I'm sorry, Mike. I love you. The Lakers will beat the Jazz. The Jazz do not have scorers. I would love to hear somebody rebuttal this because the regular season is totally different than the playoffs. Once the playoffs come and Donovan Mitchell gets double-teamed anytime he touches the basketball, just like Giannis Antetokounmpo, who can't shoot a 3, these players, they get screwed in the playoffs because there isn't much, Giannis can't shoot. Donovan Mitchell doesn't have much offensively. So we'll see what happens with that. But you got the Jazz. They might not even have a hard road outside of the Utah Jazz. Conference finals, we're thinking Suns, Clippers. Come on, bro, really? Chris Paul's never made it past anything in his life. And then the Suns, not the Suns, and then the Clippers, the Flippers are the Flippers, man. I don't really have to make a statement about that. So it's looking, and I'm not that happy. I'm not that thrilled about it. I'm sorry, Lakers fans, but I want a competitive Western Conference this season. I want a competitive Eastern Conference this season. And the Lakers, to me, are just they're so good. They are so good. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you do enjoy. I appreciate it so much. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want down in the comments below. It doesn't have to be Lakers, doesn't have to be Rockets, doesn't have to be Bulls, doesn't even have to be NBA. Just let me know what you want down in the comments below. Say spaghetti tacos in the comment for a high five, and I'll see you guys later.